Awesome. Okay, so we have been talking the last several weeks about the conditionals. So we've been through four, the zero, first, second, and third conditionals. And tonight, we're just going to have a review class and just practice working with all of those different conditionals. So I know that many of you have been doing your homework and you've been practicing the conditionals in our homework assignments. And so now we are going to work on using them more in our speech and in class. So first, what I would like everyone to do, we're going to start with a little activity that will be where you all create some scenarios where we can practice using the third conditional. So the third conditional is what we learned last week, and we use it to talk about an unreal scenario or situation in the past and what would have happened if it were true. So something like, if I hadn't stayed up too late last night, I wouldn't have been tired today. So it's a way that we can talk about something that didn't happen in the past, but if it had, what would have been the result? And so, what I want to do is first, I'm going to give you all 5 minutes to come up with four different scenarios that we can use to build a third conditional sentence or phrase. And so, what do those types of sentences look like? Or how can we make a situation like that? So think back to your homework and the types of sentences and situations that were on your homework assignment, and then you had to write a sentence or finish a sentence using the third conditional. So an example of what we could write would be, let's say I gave you this sentence. All of Teacher Quentin's plants died because he didn't water them. Can anyone give me a third conditional sentence that you could say about that to kind of switch it into a third conditional sentence? How about Grace? Grace, what do you think? If I said all of Teacher Quentin's plants died because he didn't water them, what's a third conditional sentence you could use? Oh,
If Teacher Quentin watered the plants, it wouldn't have been died.
yes, they wouldn't have died. So if Teacher Quentin would have watered his plants, they wouldn't have died. Okay, so I want all of you to come up with four sentences that we can put into the third conditional. So a sentence like all of Teacher Quentin's plants died because he didn't water them. Let's have another example. Another example could be Sally didn't eat lunch, so she was very hungry all afternoon. So I could put that sentence in the third conditional. I could say, if Sally had eaten lunch, she wouldn't have been hungry all afternoon. Okay? So I want all of you to come up with four sentences that we can then switch to the third conditional. Okay, so I will give you until 10:40. So you'll have 5 minutes to come up with those sentences. So you are not giving me a third conditional sentence. You're giving me the sentence that we will make into a third conditional sentence. So just the first part, okay? All right.
Mm. Any questions about the task?
Okay.
So
Good.
just first part, not the third conditional sentences, right?
Right. Yep. So they could say something like, oh, I I got a really bad sunburn because I didn't wear sunscreen.
So basically, they are creating questions for others to
Yeah.
answer or for themselves.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So what this is doing, and so we'll practice making some sentences, just any type of scenarios, but then also, then that gives you all a surprise. We don't know what these sentences will be, and we can practice making third conditional sentences in real time so that we don't know what they are beforehand. While the students are working on this first part, for the observers tuning in today, last Saturday we had our first of the four-part series for the webinar for teaching ESL with some of the major online companies. And this upcoming Saturday, we will be having part two. And part two is focused on the classroom setup. And so, what that will focus on is just how actually teaching on the different platforms is different, and which one of those platforms may fit different teaching styles a little better. So this will go over just the different requirements that maybe each platform has for its teachers, the type of teaching that it requires as far as whether you're teaching maybe group classes, one-on-one classes, whether there's a big focus on being very animated and very attention grabbing with your lessons, or whether it's kind of a more relaxed environment. We'll go over those things for this upcoming Saturday's webinar, and that will be at 10 a.m. Central Time. 10 a.m. Central on Saturday, August 14th, part two. The link can be found on the observation schedule for the week.
And when is your next office hour session?
Yes, next office hour session will be this upcoming Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. So Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central. And so that'll be from 7 to 8. You can drop in, ask questions. Feel free to drop in, listen to the discussions and conversations that take place. And as always, yeah, it's a really good forum for us all just to share ideas, ask questions, and hear from not only myself and Luke, but also from your fellow classmates. Okay, so it is now time. And what I would like to do is I will start with just one person and I'll do a little example of how I would like this to work. And so what I want is we will go around to different people. I will call on one of you and you can give us your sentence or your situation. Okay? And then I'll call on someone different to then answer with the third conditional. Okay, so we will start with asking or giving the scenario, and then we will move on to the third conditional sentence. And so, first, to get started, how about Barry? Give me one of your sentences.
Uh, mm, I've I don't feed the cat.
Okay, and what happened to the cat when you didn't feed it? What happened to the cat?
maybe he will die because he don't eat.
Okay, so there. So let's use that sentence. My cat died because I didn't feed it.
My
So
cat
that's how,
died because I didn't feed it.
yes. Okay, and so then if I were the student, I could say, if Barry had fed his cat, it wouldn't have died. If Barry had fed his cat, it wouldn't have died. So that was how I took Barry's sentence and made it into a third conditional. Okay, so let's do another example. Angel, what was one of your sentences?
Mm, my my little brother feels angry because I didn't play with him.
Oh, great sentence. Okay, so let's see. Who could make that into the third conditional? My little brother feels angry because I didn't play with him. Okay, how about Ray? Ray, can you make that into a third conditional sentence?
Mm, if I had if I had played with my little brother, he wouldn't have been angry.
Yes! Excellent. That was perfect. Okay, Percy, how about one of your sentences?
She looks fit because she exercises every day.
Ah, okay. She looks fit because she exercises every day. All right. So how about Grace? Can you give a third conditional sentence for that?
If she hadn't exercised every day, he wouldn't have been fit.
Yeah, if she hadn't exercised every day, she wouldn't have been fit. Yes. Good job. This is awesome. Okay. Joyce, what's one of your sentences?
The woman fall because she doesn't carefully.
Okay, one more time on the very first part of your sentence. What was the first part?
Uh, the woman fall.
Ah, okay. Okay. So the woman fell because she
She doesn't carefully.
okay, because she
Careful.
didn't she didn't see it. She didn't see something on the ground.
Uh, she doesn't look at she doesn't look at the ground.
Oh, okay. Okay. So the woman fell because she didn't look at the ground. Okay, Barry. How about a third conditional sentence for that? The
Mhm.
woman fell because she didn't look at the ground.
If the woman had seen the ground, she she wouldn't have felt.
Yeah, she wouldn't have fallen. She wouldn't have fallen.
She wouldn't have fallen.
Good. Good. There you go. All right. And how about, let's see, who hasn't given? Oh, Ray, let's hear one of your sentences.
Uh, uh, he he found dinosaur fossils, so he's very famous.
He found dinosaur fossils, so he's very famous. Okay, Percy, could you try to make that into a third conditional sentence?
If he hadn't found dinosaurs fossil, he wouldn't have been famous.
Yes, if he wouldn't have found dinosaur fossils, he wouldn't have been famous. Great. Great job. Okay, and Grace, what's one of your sentences?
I'm hungry this morning because I forgot to eat the breakfast.
Okay, because you forgot to eat breakfast. Mhm. Because you forgot to eat breakfast. Try that one more time.
I am hungry this morning because I forgot to eat breakfast.
That's perfect. There you go. Okay, and let's see. Angel, what's a third conditional sentence for that?
If I had forgot to eat breakfast, I would have been hungry in the morning.
Okay. Yes, almost very close. So we just have to make sure that we use the wouldn't in there. So if, or I'm sorry, in the second part, the wouldn't, but in the first part, would have. So if I would have eaten breakfast, I wouldn't have been hungry in the morning. So very close. Try that one. Try saying that one.
If I
Would
mm,
have, would have,
if I would have hungry,
eaten breakfast.
if I would have eaten breakfast, I wouldn't have I wouldn't been hungry in the morning.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. You are almost there. You almost said it. I wouldn't have been hungry in the morning. Hmm. I wouldn't have been hungry in the morning. Joyce, let's see. Actually, no, let's say Percy. What's one of your sentences? I don't think you've given one yet. What was one of your sentences?
We are run out of food because no one is able to go out and buy it.
Okay, so we ran out of food. That first part. We ran out of food because no one was able to go out and buy it. Okay. Hmm. Let's see. How about Ray? What can we say for that one?
Uh, Teacher, could you say the sentence one more time?
Yeah, Percy, repeat your sentence for Ray.
We are run out of food because no one is able to go out and buy it.
So we ran out of food. We ran out of food because no one was able to buy it, to go out and buy it.
Uh, if mm,
So
oh,
what didn't they do? What didn't they do?
uh, if if one body uh had gone to buy food, we wouldn't have run out of food.
Yes, if someone had went to buy food, we wouldn't have run out, or we wouldn't have run out of food. Yeah, very good. Very good. We wouldn't have run out. Good job. All right, class. You all did very good with that exercise. Now hold on to those sentences. Don't, the ones that you created, I know each person only used one, maybe two. So do not get rid of those. Save those, and we will refer back here shortly. But now I would like to go on to a different game. And this one is just a quick review of all of the conditionals. So this will just work on putting sentences in the correct order to help us with our ordering sentences and ordering the words in our sentences. So if you could scroll up in your chat, there is a link to the word wall activity. It's a very quick word wall. It says review of conditionals. It's the last link I posted earlier. So just scroll up and check that link, click it, and just do that word wall activity. So this one's only 10 questions, very short, and then after we'll move on to our next activity. So this is all conditionals. All conditionals will be included here, not just the third. And I will give you until 10:55. Or actually, I'm sorry, we'll give 5 minutes, 10:56 from now. 5 minutes. Okay, just one more minute. We'll finish up any of the last sentences you have. Okay, so now let's just look at our results. Okay. Uh-oh. I think I have the wrong. Interesting. Was everyone able to complete the exercise? Just give me a thumbs up. On the link, were you able to use the link to do the exercise?
有完整的举手，thumbs up，比个赞。刚刚有做那个连结的试题的。So Joyce, Angel, Barry.
Okay. Everyone raised their hand. Okay. For some reason, I am not able to see the results this time. So I will have to check on that. My results tab is not populating. So while we work on the next activity, I will see if I can find the results. But hopefully that gave you some practice, at least in unjumbling and sorting out those sentences and putting those words in the correct order to make a correct sentence. Okay, because now we're going to put that into practice just a little bit more with another game that I want to play called the Conditionals Picture Game. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you a few pictures and, oh, not share. Let's present. Okay, so how the Conditionals Picture Game will work is that I will show you one of the pictures that we have in the presentation, and then you will give me a conditional sentence that you could say to describe the picture. Now, it does not have to be any particular type of conditional. Oh, goodness, all of my, let's see, let me try to just reload this. I apologize, all of my technology seems to not want to work right now. Okay, hopefully you can see my screen once I do this. Okay, is everyone able to see the presentation? Good?
Yes.
Okay. So let's look and we'll do the first one together. So I'm going to show a picture and then you will say a conditional sentence. So let's say I showed you this picture. So we can make different conditional sentences with this picture from the zero conditional to the first conditional. So let's say I wanted to do zero conditional. I could even say something like, when your stomach hurts, see a doctor. Very good. So that's the zero conditional. Maybe I want to use a first conditional. I could say, if my stomach feels sick, I will see a doctor. That's something I could say. What about second conditional? If I wasn't sick to my stomach, I would go for a run. Okay, and third conditional, who can give me an example? Since we've been practicing the third conditional, someone give me an example of a third conditional sentence you could say about this picture. How about Percy? Percy, what's a third conditional? A sentence like what we just practiced that you could say for this picture.
If he wouldn't have ate too much, he wouldn't had a stomachache.
Yeah, if he wouldn't have eaten. So we would say if he wouldn't have eaten too much. Yeah, if he wouldn't have eaten too much, he wouldn't have had a stomach ache. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very good. So that's how this game works. So I'm going to show a picture and then I'll call on students to give me a conditional sentence. Any conditional does not have to be the third. So it can be any conditional you would like. Okay, so let's start. Our next picture. Uh-oh, look at this one. Okay, Joyce. What's a conditional sentence you could use to describe this?
It's the same photo.
Yep. Any conditional sentence you would like about this picture?
If he didn't eat the bread, he doesn't have a starch milk.
Okay. So if he wouldn't have let's see, if he wouldn't have fallen from his bike, maybe. If he wouldn't have fallen from his bike, what could we say to continue that sentence?
If he fallen at a bike, if he wouldn't have teacher, my screen is less.
Oh,
it's not.
yeah. Oh, you can okay. How about
let me take a screenshot and send it to her so she can.
Oh.
And then you can call on someone else right now.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. How about Barry? Barry, how about you try? Give me a sentence in a conditional sentence about this picture.
If you hurt your leg, you will feel pain.
Yeah, if you hurt your leg, you will feel pain. Yes. That's a good one. That's a good one. Now, I'll give you a bonus. Which conditional? If you can tell me which conditional you used, I'll give you you'll get a bonus.
First conditional.
You know. Oh, bingo. Woo! Barry for the win, for the score. Okay, good job, Barry. So, that was the first conditional. All right, how about, let's see if someone else can give a different sentence. How about Grace? What's a different sentence you could say about this picture?
If he hadn't rode the bicycle fast, he wouldn't have
Fallen. He wouldn't have fallen.
He wouldn't have fallen.
Yeah, so if he wouldn't have rode the bicycle fast, he wouldn't have fallen. All right. Very good. Okay, let's look at our next picture. Uh-oh. Okay, so how about Ray? Give me a sentence, a conditional for this one.
If we baked bread for too long, we get burnt bread.
Yes, if we bake bread too long, we will get burnt bread. Yep. Or we could just say it will be burnt, or it will burn. So it will burn. If we cook the bread too long, it will burn. All right. How about Angel? Can you give me a different sentence with this picture?
If we hadn't baked the bread too long, the bread wouldn't have been black.
Yeah, wouldn't have been burnt. Yep, wouldn't have been burnt. Good. All right. Wouldn't have been burnt. All right. So how about now? Let's look at the next one. Oh, okay. So this one is a little different. It's a good thing. So let's look at this one. How about Grace? What conditional could we use about this?
If I study hard, I would get 100 score.
Yeah, you will get a 100% or 100, yeah, score 100. But you will get a 100%. Yeah, that's a good sentence. All right. And bonus for Grace. Which conditional did you use?
Second condition.
Oh, very close, very close. It was the first because you said if I study hard, I will get 100%. So I will, and we're using the first. So yeah, very close. Here, you were close on that one. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, let's see. How about Angel? Can you give me a conditional sentence?
If he didn't wear his sunglasses, his eyes will get burned.
Oh, good eye. His eye. Uh-huh. Okay. So if he didn't wear his sunglasses, his eyes would have gotten burnt. Or we could say if he doesn't wear sunglasses, his eyes will get burnt. So that's the difference between our first conditional and a third conditional sentence. Okay, good. Let's see, how about Ray? You want to try a different sentence for this one?
Hmm. Could I try next picture?
Okay, let's try the next picture. Okay. All right, it's all you, Ray. What is a conditional we could use here?
If there is a car accident, the owners of cars get out the car to check the situation.
Oh, okay. All right. I like this sentence because you were the first to use the zero conditional. So, okay, very good, Ray. So if there is a car accident, the owners get out to check the situation. So a zero conditional sentence. Good job, Ray. All right. Let's see. How about Percy? Percy, can you give me a different conditional sentence for this picture?
If they drive carefully, they won't bump into
Each other.
each other.
Okay. Yeah, they won't bump into each other. Or in the case of a crash, sometimes we'll say they won't crash into each other. Or we could say they won't hit each other. So these are words that we usually associate with car crashes. So crash into each other, hit each other. Yeah, but good job. Good use of the first conditional there. Very good. Okay. Our next picture. All right. Now, I know that Joyce may be having a little bit of trouble with her screen. So, I don't know if Luke would be able to screenshot that one, our next one. But Joyce, this one, if you can you see this picture?
Yes.
Okay. So, how about your turn? Let's try to make a conditional sentence out of this one.
If the girl practice the sports, always practice the sport, she will get a award.
Yes, if she always practices the sport, she will get an award. Yeah, she got a gold medal. All right. Very good. How about Grace? Do you have can you give me another sentence for this one?
If she practices hard, she will win.
She will win. Yes. Good. Good. All right. Let's see. Angel. What about this one? Angel.
If he doesn't take his umbrella, he take taxi to work.
He takes a taxi to work. Yeah, or he will take a taxi to work. That would be first conditional. He will take a taxi to work. So if he doesn't take his umbrella, he will take a taxi to work. All right. Good. And how about Barry? Can you give me a second sentence for this situation?
Hmm. Hmm. If uh if if it's rain, he 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 even go to he don't go to work on foot.
Okay, good. Okay, so if it's raining, so when the rain is coming down, we would say raining. So if it's raining, he he doesn't go to work on foot. All right, let's try that one more time, Barry.
If it's raining, he doesn't go to work on foot.
All right, good. He doesn't go to work on foot. All right. Yep, he's about to take a taxi. Okay, oh, looks like someone's running a little bit behind. So let's see. How about Angel? What can we do for this one? What can we say for this one?
If he had gone to bed early, he wouldn't be late for work.
He wouldn't have been late for work. Mhm. He wouldn't have been late for work. So using the third conditional there. So if he wouldn't have stayed up late, he wouldn't have been late for work. All right. Okay, and let's see. How about Joyce? Can you see this one? Let's do one more with Joyce.
If he if he drive the car well, he didn't late for work.
Okay, so let's think about let's try to change this one a little. Let's put this one in the third conditional using what you said. So if he
If
would
he wouldn't drove the car well, he 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 wouldn't gone to work to he he wouldn't gone to work late.
Okay, you're almost there. You're so close. Okay, so let's just we'll just change it just a little. So if he would have driven well, or if he would have driven the car well, he wouldn't have been late to work. Try that one. Oh, we still have
Teacher, can you say again?
Yes, so we could say you were almost there in your last time, But we could say if he would have driven the car well, he wouldn't have been late for work.
If he driven the car well, she hadn't late for work.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been late
Wouldn't
for work.
have been.
Yeah, yeah. So you were close, almost there. Almost there, Joyce. All right. And what about this one? What about this one? How about Barry? What do we have here?
If you had watered your plant, it wouldn't have died.
It wouldn't have died. Yes, there we go. It wouldn't have died. Okay. And one more. Oh, no. Grace, can you give a conditional sentence here?
If I play with the baby, it will it he will not broke the dishes.
Okay. So if you played with the baby, he would not have broken the dishes. Try saying that one.
If I play with baby, he will not to broken the dishes.
All right. He would not have broken the dishes.
He will not have broken the dishes.
All right, there we go. That was better. Okay, so good job tonight. So we did a lot of practice today with using our conditionals. And I want to give you all a hand because I heard a lot of conditional sentences other than third. I thought maybe many of you might pick the third conditional because it was the one that we had done most recently. But many of you gave sentences in the zero and even the first conditional, which we covered a few weeks back. So, way to go there of showing your knowledge of the different conditionals. Okay, so just to wrap things up for our last few minutes, let's go back to those sentences you all wrote. Let's go back to those. So, Percy, what's another one of your sentences that you wrote?
Mm, Teacher is angry because we didn't we didn't write our homework.
Ah, the teacher is angry because you didn't write your homework. You didn't do your homework. Okay. Let's see. Angel, what's a conditional sentence you could make from that? The teacher is angry because you didn't do your homework.
If I do, if I had did my homework, the teacher wouldn't have been angry.
Yes, if I had done my homework. If I had done my homework. Well, good job. Good sentence there. And last one, Grace, give me one of your sentences. One more.
My brother is happy because he won the competition.
All right. And how about, let's see, Ray, finish the class. What's a conditional sentence you can make from that?
Uh, uh, could she say again?
Yeah, one more time, Grace.
My brother is happy because he won the competition.
Oh,
Won the competition. Yep, won the competition.
if if my if my brother hadn't won the competition, he wouldn't have been happy.
All right. Way to close out our class. Good job tonight, everyone. Very good. I was very impressed with the sentences you all came up with using these conditionals. So good job with that. Okay. Well, that finishes class for today. So I will see you all next week.
Okay, please unmute your microphone. Say thank you, Teacher Quentin.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Teacher
teacher
Quentin.
Teacher Quentin.
All right. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.